out to Books to Life Marketing, the team making it all possible. They specialize in helping authors bring their stories to life through expert publishing, marketing, and media exposure. They're behind some of the most inspiring author journeys we've seen. If you're an author looking to elevate your book, Books to Life Marketing is the partner you want in your quarter. And our guest today is Heather Millard. She's the author of Moonlight Monsters. Before we start the interview, just basically to know a little bit about her, she is 97. You do not look 97, and you're
I,
born, huh?
I'm interrupting you. I was 98 last week.
Okay, so you do not look 98. You were born in the UK, and so you've lived a life, and it's very, very important to talk about. But an author at 98 years old, before I even get started, when did you first start writing?
That's a good question. I don't know. I suppose in my teens.
Oh,
Um,
oh, wow. In your teens, when was the first time you wrote a book then?
well, I'd never self-published until now. And I wrote a book actually about King John. I had read a book that he was the wonderful king, but he has been maligned. And so I got very interested in writing about him, but I never published it because somebody who was famous had obviously read the same book about King John and had written a book called Myself as a Witness, I think, and John Goldman or somebody like that. And my professor at university said, put it in a drawer for 10 years. Otherwise, they'll say you plagiarized, because we both had the same sort of dialogue feeling. And anyway, that was my very first novel that I wrote. And that was
Oh
all
my goodness.
many, many years ago. And I've
Wow.
never done anything with King John.
Wow. Why haven't you done anything with King John?
Well, I don't know. And the Magna Carta is, I mean, it's responsible for so much habeas corpus, and you can't be cast, into prison without due process. Anyway, but he was a fascinating person. And of course, there was a revolution from the barons. But now I'm writing a book about the American Revolution. And I'm hoping that I'll finish that and maybe publish that one. And I'm writing a play for children. I'm still very active, in other words, at 98.
You seem like you're definitely still active at 98. That's fantastic. I mean, absolutely fantastic. And I'm just am very impressed. I think you're the oldest person I've ever interviewed. I've had some people in their late 80s. I think 90, but not to the hundreds. But I think you're going to live past the hundred. So,
Oh,
I'm big into longevity and I want to live to 150 or more. And, technology will change by the time I get up in those ages. But that's what I'm doing right now. I'm reverse aging and looking to live forever. That's a goal of mine. And I'm looking to create technology down the line, looking into those things. Because, I mean, just imagine the life you lived. And now, how you're smart as a tack at this age and can still write and write more books. You definitely are living a purpose. So
but I,
tell me what inspired you to blend fantasy, fantasetical monsters with lessons about courage and responsibility.
well, I guess I had a bedroom with a large window with a tree outside, and the branches of the tree were always banging against the window. And I think I was scared because it looked as if somebody might be trying to get in the window. So I had to say to myself, put the light on and see what if there really is anybody outside. And so I would make myself get out of bed, put the light on, and thank goodness it was just the branches of the tree. And so I just thought about shadows and and we've all got things that we're scared about. And children have so much to learn before they grow up. and so many things we think we can't do as children. So I suppose um, I thought if they could think of something happy. And
Yeah.
so I have Ritzy, my shadow, saying, think about monkeys at the zoo. And of course, when you think about monkeys at the zoo, there was even a wonderful test done where a cane was left in a monkey's cage, and there was a banana that was put outside the cage. And the monkey was clever enough to poke this cane outside under the cage and pull the banana into the cage. So anyway, monkeys are, I think, able to do lots of funny things. I could have said, think about your birthday. I could have said, think about a picnic in the park or going swimming or looking at the moon and the stars. But Ritzy came up with, think about the monkeys at the zoo. And I think if we can change our thoughts, even from negative thoughts to positive in just our general lives, it's a gift that we have that we don't always know we have it. We think if we think something, that has to be it, it can't be any other way. But our perspectives can be changed.
Yeah, the perspectives can definitely be changed, and it's amazing when you think about how perspectives can change.
Yes.
How do you balance suspense and moral lessons to keep your young readers engaged?
Well, I hope that they like the characters. I want them to feel close to the characters, and I hope that they sense that the characters are close to them, that the characters really are trying to help them. They've come from the Office of Shadows, and their job, their goal is to help a child be less afraid. And so many children dread going to bed at night, because they think there's a monster in the cupboard or under the bed or something scary. And so the Office of Shadows sent Ritzy, Mozzarella, and Daisy, and Jangles. Jangles has lots of medals, and he's the boss, really. And he says there's to be no talking to the children. And Ritzy, I'm afraid, she's so sad to see Alexander, the boy, in the bed. He's so scared. He's now a hump under covers. He doesn't want to look at the monsters, which he thinks, I mean, they're shadows, but he thinks of them as monsters. And she says, think, as I say, of something happy. And Jangles is saying, you're breaking the rules. And we don't talk to the children, and we only come in the moonlight. And Alexander gets really even more scared because the wind is blowing the shadows closer to him, and he jumps out of bed and he goes downstairs, and his mother has just taken out some chocolate chip cookies from the oven, and she thinks that he's just been able to smell them, and that's why he's come down, and he says, I want one. And then he blurts out, I want four. I want four cookies. And she says, you can only have one, and clean your teeth afterwards. And of course, he goes up the stairs and he smells the chocolate and feels the hot cookie, and he wants to bite into it. But he knows he has to take it up and go in that room again and face those monsters. And so he goes in. Oh, and by the way, Mozzarella tells him earlier that he frightened George Washington. And George Washington is the hero. He's even in a picture on the wall in Alexander's room. And so he says, I must talk to the shadows as if I'm George Washington. And he goes into the room and he says, I brought one cookie and you must share it. And so he puts it on the bookcase. And of course, in the morning, Jackals even says to him, you're a brave boy. And Ritzy says, it's very nice of you to share your cookie. and he leaves it on top of the bookcase. And in the morning, when he wakes up, of course, they're just shadows, the cookie is still sitting there. So he takes the cookie and he bites into it and he hugs himself with the thought that he'd been brave enough to confront the shadows or the monsters in his eyes. So
Wow.
there you go.
I mean, absolutely. Wow. You have a very imaginative mind. I
Yes,
mean,
I
this
was.
is so this is one thing. I'm like, Heather, okay. I want to study your brain. Okay. You're smart as a tack at your age. And I'm like, that's what we need to do is study that because you're so with it and you're not reading notes. You're telling us straight. And it's very, very impressive. I just wanted to let you know that, because as I told you, I'm looking at the whole longevity thing and I'm like, wow. I'll have to ask about your diet at the end of this podcast to find out what you do in radio show. Are there any characters or situations inspired by personal experiences or observations?
No, but I do love people.
I can
And
tell. I think that's probably one of the big reasons for your longevity. It's
yes,
people.
and I have had a wonderful life. I've been through many situations that could have been the end of me, but I was blessed and I've been fortunate. And I'm with you on this um, s- uh, quest for a longer life because now medicine is remarkable. We even have a member of the family who had cancer, and they're doing something called a CAR-T test, where they take blood out of the body and then they put it back, and they're with the cancer cells have been fought, and the person is able to be alive. It's remarkable.
Ugh.
And they'll probably give you a pill and they'll say this is going to take off 20 years or 10 years, however many years you want, right? And
I absolutely. It's exciting. I mean,
it
so no,
is.
no, 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 no. There's more than that. Our brains, because of what Elon Musk is doing with AI and how with Neuralink and things like that, we're not going to have to worry about people becoming brain dead because that's one of the big things is not having that in longevity. Then the rest is about taking care of yourself, and then how more and more ways that killed us will disappear in the next 20 years. So you have to stay the course so you don't end up in a nursing home or an assisted living at a very young at an old in your 50s or even younger. I recommend, but I'm in my 50s. I'm 52, and really see that stuff and say, okay, this is what we have to do. But I'm just so impressed you love people. I think that's the biggest thing. What do
And
you hope? Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Heather?
I want to say, I want everybody to be able to have their own opinions and for everybody to respect them, whatever they are.
Absolutely. What do you hope children take away about empathy and understanding differences?
Oh, well, I'm about to write a new uh, story called The Blob, and it's going to be a round creature just who nobody says good morning to and nobody says good afternoon to. And the brown creature wishes that he or she was white and wants people to like him or her. As I say, I haven't finished it yet. And he manages to save a little girl from drowning. And after that, everybody says good afternoon and good morning to him or her. And that means that they won't be scared of something different. I think people perhaps are scared of differences and instead of being thrilled that we're all different. Each one of us is unique.
Absolutely, each one of us is unique. You've nailed it. And
And
so, did you think the book, your current book, talks about that empathy at all to teach empathy, or you think it's more leading into your next book?
Well, maybe I think it's empathy because I've got another children's story where a child is helping a doll, which needs help. So some empathy perhaps will come into that one. I must have about seven children's stories waiting in the wings. What can I say?
I'm so excited for you. That's unbelievable. And we're going to talk about your life if we have a chance. This is such, and when you're welcome to come back on my show anytime you write another book. So I'm glad you have the opportunity to come on the Neil Haley show and to really give me this understanding. That's what I look at is there's no rush if we can go ahead and stay healthy. That all the opportunities in our lives will come to us if we just wait and we keep progressing and improving and doing. And there's nothing we can't do if we put our minds to it. That our
Do,
mind to it. That's the really key thing.
do you
And oh, God.
do you believe you choose your life, or do you think that your life has been really planned for you from the moment you're born?
I believe we choose our life. What about you?
I don't know.
I believe we choose our life. I believe that there is a path we're given, and it's we have choices to make every day, and based on those choices, that really leads your path to where you go. Because there are things that can go off the rails very quickly if we make the wrong choice. So, what do you hope children take away? Oh, we already talked about that. How do you think the story encourages problem solving and resilience in young readers?
Well, I think if they're faced with a situation, um, and they think that it's hopeless, or they're so scared that they think they can't deal with it. I'm hoping that somehow there's a way, if they can change their thoughts, that they, instead of thinking, I can't do this, they think, I may not be good at it, but I can, I think, get better and better and better at being braver and braver and braver. That's a one example.
I love it. This is amazing and braver and braver. And why children? I mean, it seems like you could write a memoir about your life. Why children? Children's books.
uh, I don't know, because, well, actually, maybe all adults are still children, still dealing with things that happened to them when they were children, perhaps. Or we're all, I think most people are kind and good and innocent, and there are only a few people who aren't.
Yeah, agree. Because the childlike in you keeps you motivated to get up each day and continue forward for sure. If you could highlight one key message from Moonlight Monsters, what would it be?
Oh, know you can change your thoughts from negative to positive, from no hope to hope, to being happy with what you have, not thinking about what you don't have.
Yes. I'm going to say yes, yes on that.
Oh, good.
I mean, I agree with you. I
And
mean, yeah, go ahead.
your AI is going to speed things up, because to be alive for many, many years, it's going to take a lot of research, and AI is going to be able to do it in seconds, right?
Right. That's where you have to stay ahead of the curve in that way. I hope that there will be some guide rails at one point on AI, but in a way that's just to allow it to become an assistant in our lives, not take over our lives. And that means, but I think a lot of people have to decide. And I see how many books you've read. How many you have your bookshelf, and how many books have you read, Heather?
I have 4,000 books, but they're all mainly, none of them are bestsellers. They're mainly some of my mother's books and then research books. I love doing research.
Were you a teacher?
No.
What was your career?
Well, for many years, I went to university for 28 years.
Wow. Okay.
I loved it. I got my undergraduate and then I got my master's, and I got my master's in social work. And so, uh, if I can help one person, if one child reading Moonlight Monsters is helped, then my life has been worthwhile.
I agree. Have a lot of books more to write. So isn't it crazy after all that research and all, I think you were spending a lot of your time before you retired in social work, right? You really spent that time helping people. That's why it's taking you so long to write the books, right?
Correct. And
You,
also, I had a wonderful marriage and two wonderful daughters, one of whom is writing books too. Uh, she's writing about bullying in schools and divorce, and she's working with a psychologist, and they're wonderful. And the book is called Florence, and it's a handbag, and the handbag can read children's thoughts.
where do you live, Heather?
I live in Miami, Florida.
Miami, Florida. Oh
Where
my.
where do you live?
I live in Mentor, Ohio, outside Cleveland.
I did go to Cleveland once, I think, with my husband.
I've been in Miami. I covered the Miami Book Fair my second year broadcasting and covered it live for so many years and then stopped. I missed that because the Miami Book Fair is there's no book festival like the Miami Book Fair when I went there. The street festival, it was like it was like the Super Bowl for books. So that's my memory of Miami.
Well, if you ever come to Miami, I'd be happy to take you to lunch.
Oh, well, I'm going to become. We're going to be traveling. There's events coming soon. I have clients in Miami, so I'll definitely look you up for sure. So, are there plans to expand the world or continue the adventures in the series?
Of Moonlight Monsters? No,
Yeah.
no. What I want to do are stories for children going to bed at night because the parents maybe don't have time to read a good night story. So I'm hoping perhaps to do audios and do my children's books as audios so the parent can put it in the whatever they use and go about whatever they have to do if they have to work or they have to prepare dinner or something. So that's my hope for the stories that I'm probably not going to turn into books. But do you think I should turn them into books or audio books or just audio
I
books?
think I think both.
Or you think it has to be both?
I don't know. I mean, audiobooks are great too, but if it's up to you. I think you should go with the gusto and have both choices.
If you were a child,
What would I like more?
yeah,
Audiobooks.
there you go. And
Because
I'm
they
thinking
can listen to it
myself,
as a bedtime story,
right?
or you could read the book. See, but you need the book too, because what about if the parent wants to play it while showing the pictures?
Oh, okay. I never thought of that.
All right, so you said so your years in social work, then being a mother, and for all those years, and then do you do volunteering? What keeps you? You said you've lived this wonderful life. What keeps you going? What's your longevity secret?
What is it? I think uh, I'm not religious, but I have a strong belief in God who created this incredible universe. And so God is my friend. And I think God tells me or inspires me or whatever helps me uh, when I need help. And even if I don't need help, what I should be doing.
Yes. Okay. Wow. And so ultimately the next book on the series, when is that coming out?
Oh,
I mean,
well,
next book you're writing. When are you
oh,
expecting?
actually, I've written one that you can get on Amazon called The Little Christmas Tree, and it's going to be an audio book. And it's all about a little Christmas tree that is afraid what kind of home it's going to go to when it's bought. And it turns out that it goes to the home of two young people, and it makes everyone happy and it looks beautiful. It's the most beautiful little Christmas tree with ornaments that Jill and David have made to go on the tree. And then the tree ends up outside under the sky and the stars, and it's still not hurt. The branches are still on it, and hopefully it's going back to its life under the sky in a forest or in a garden, wherever it came from.
I tell you, wonderful, wonderful conversation we had today. And let's talk about your normal day. How do you keep yourself busy every day?
Oh, well, I live in something called independent living. And we have a woman's club and we have a topic. Uh, this time we have something called collections and people who collect things. I collect little houses. Do you collect anything?
No, I don't. I used to collect things, but when I was a kid, but no, I don't. You collect little houses. How cute.
Yes.
I think my biggest thing that's my because I have a digital agency, marketing, social media, website, SEO, do all the different things that this right here, getting to interview people is like I get to interview major celebrities and get to talk to so many people. So that's really my broadcasting career is my hobby. Like who can I interview next? It's not going to make me the money that my agency makes me, but I love doing it.
If you love doing it, you're a lucky person.
I love everything I do, getting to work with clients, everything. So that's why I'm working on that longevity part. Do you say that you're a spiritual person, but you're not a spiritual person, but you believe in God and that fact? And what about, let's talk about
No,
health,
I am a spiritual person. My
spiritual.
husband was cremated, and we put a bench for him in Trinity College, Dublin, right opposite the library. And I went and I sat on the bench, and everything around me was as calm as it could be. When I got up off the bench, a gust of wind from nowhere lifted me up, and then everything was very calm again. So I am a spiritual person. And again, I was going to a musical concert. I was listening to Sibelius's violin concerto, and I was driving home alone. And I thought, well, I won't put the radio on. I've just heard this wonderful music. And something said inside of me, you've got to put the radio on. And I did. And what was it but a song called Some Enchanted Evening that my husband had dedicated to me? I
Oh,
don't think I've lived before. I have friends who've been regressed, but I am a spiritual person. I
hmm.
just don't believe uh, that well, some of the rituals, really, if they help people to get close to uh, feeling that the universe is a remarkable miracle and is awesome. I mean, that's what I think is where, and even being a human being is a miracle to see, to talk, to hear, to walk. It's all a miracle, this whole universe and us.
It totally is. Well, we really appreciate you coming by. It's a great conversation. I really love your longevity. Keep going, keep writing more books. And is there a best place people can find information? Do you have a website?
No, I don't. No,
Okay.
but if they want a book, it's on Amazon.
Okay. Go pick it up on Amazon. We really appreciate it. Thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
All right. You're
I
listening and
wish you,
watching.
I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a wonderful New Year. I wish you a wonderful life, and I hope you get to live to how did you say?
150.
I
That's the goal. Yeah.
I wish that you live to 150.
Or maybe more, or maybe you'll be, well, we'll have to do the math. You'll be 200. So who knows what
Oh no.